Hello everyone, welcome to Come Sit at My Table. We sure are happy to have you here with us today. Now, Melissa and I are getting ready to fix our dinner. We're going to have a little bit of an early dinner tonight, and we are fixing mashed potato casserole to go with our meal. So we thought we'd bring you along and let you see how we make mashed potato casserole. This is a very simple dish to make, and we think it's delicious. One thing I really like about this dish is that you can prepare it, get it in your dish, in your casserole dish, and ready to bake, and refrigerate it and wait to bake it when you're ready to use it. And you could make this, get it ready to bake up to 2 days before you're going to actually bake it. You don't want to bake it until you're ready to use it, but you can get it ready, put it in your dish, and then just refrigerate it until you're ready. All right, so let's talk about what we're going to use to make our mashed potato casserole. We're going to start with potatoes. You can't really have mashed potatoes or a mashed potato casserole without potatoes. I'm using jumbo russet potatoes. Now, some people call these baking potatoes, and that's fine. I call them jumbos. And I like using these because I have less potatoes to peel. In a 5-pound bag, you're going to get about 5, maybe 6 of these potatoes. And that's what we're going to use for this. Now, it's going to make a good amount of potatoes. So if you don't need that much, if you want to make a smaller casserole of it, you can cut everything here in half and make half of it. But we're going to make the full casserole for you today. So
mashed potato casserole goes with lots of stuff, though. So,
well, other than maybe Chinese or Mexican, maybe. I can't think of anything it won't go with. Goes great with chicken, pork, turkey, just about anything.
Beef.
Beef, absolutely. Meatloaf. You can't have meatloaf without mashed potatoes. And who doesn't love potatoes? I love potatoes every way you can fix them. Mashed potatoes, hash browns, French fries. I don't care. I love them. Okay, 5 pounds of potatoes. We're also going to use 6 ounces of sour cream. Now, that's not a full block because a full block is 8.
Cream cheese.
I mean cream cheese.
Getting ahead of yourself.
I'm glad you caught that. 6 ounces of cream cheese. That's not a full block of cream cheese. A full block is 8 ounces, and we've already used 2 ounces of that, so we have 6 ounces left, and that's what we're using. Now, sour cream. We're going to use 1 cup of sour cream. Potatoes are very bland. They have to have seasoning. So if you're going to make mashed potatoes or mashed potato casserole, you have to have salt. And we're going to use 1 teaspoon of salt to start with. I may have to add a little more. We're also going to use 1 stick of butter, and I'll just put that into our hot potatoes and let it melt as we mix them in. Then we're going to use 1 teaspoon of onion powder and 1/2 teaspoon of garlic salt. Now, if you're worried about the salt content, if you are on a salt-restricted diet or you're just trying to watch your sodium intake, then adjust this to suit your taste or your health needs. You don't have to follow this exactly. You do what you need to do. The next thing we're going to use is some buttery crackers. Now, I've never used this brand of crackers, but Melissa and I found these last night at Aldi's, and so I'm going to try them today. They look a lot like Ritz, and I think they look really good. We're going to use about 2 sleeves of those. There's 4 sleeves in this box, and we're going to use a couple of those because we want to put a buttery crumb topping on top of our mashed potato casserole. And we're going to need about a 1/2 stick of butter that I'm going to melt in the microwave to put in with those cracker crumbs just to make them good and buttery. Okay, that's everything we're going to use. You probably have all of that at home already. So let's make mashed potato casserole. All right, we're going to start by washing and peeling our potatoes. So let's just wash these off really well. If you want to use a scrub brush, you certainly could, but I think these aren't real dirty. I just want to make sure I get any dust off of them. Okay, we are about finished peeling our potatoes, so now we're going to start cutting them up. And I do like to rinse off my potatoes after I've peeled them, even though I washed them before. So we have them peeled here, and now we're just going to start cutting them. We'll try to cut them into pretty much equal sized pieces so that they cook at the same rate. You don't want some pieces to turn to mush while others are still hard. So we'll try to keep them fairly equal. And we'll just put them into a pot of cool water. And when we have them all peeled, we'll turn the fire on, bring them to a boil, and boil them for about 15 minutes until they are fork tender. Our potatoes have just about finished boiling, so I'm going to put all of our other ingredients in our mixing bowl and just get ready to dump those potatoes right on top of this because we want all of this to melt in the heat of those potatoes. So I have put in the butter, the cream cheese, and the sour cream. We'll put in the salt. If I can get it out of our salt box here. I think it might have gotten a little damp. Now I'm starting with 1 teaspoon. I'm not going to promise you that's all I'm going to put in, because once we get these mixed up, I will taste them, and if that's not enough salt, I will put more in. And you have to do the same. You have to adjust it to your taste. So don't feel like you have to follow exactly the measurements that I'm put on here. Okay, let's take our potatoes, turn the fire off, and we're going to drain these. Put them right into a strainer here. Let those drain for just a second or two. Get these other potatoes out of here. So I'm just going to put those right in here. They're already drained. And now we'll just put these in the bowl. We'll start mixing them up. Now, if you don't have a mixer like this, you can use a hand mixer. You can use a potato masher. If you have a ricer and want to use that, you can use a ricer. Whatever you have that you use to mash potatoes is what you will use for this. You know what? I forgot to put my blade in first. So I'm just going to have to force that in there. Okay. And we're going to lift that up. I'm going to start it very slow until it starts to mix. You'll notice that we have not put any milk in this yet. I'm not going to tell you that we won't, but we're hoping that the cream cheese and the sour cream and the butter, as they melt, are enough liquid really to make this creamy and not need to add any milk to it. But we'll see. A lot of it just depends on your potatoes, the kind of potatoes you have, and how creamy they are already.
Gosh, so this looks good already though.
We'll see. Now I'm going to get my little spatula spoon here, and I'm just going to go around the edge and make sure, sorry Melissa, I think I got right in your way.
Okay.
And I'm just going to make sure that all of that is down in because we want it to mix up. I'm going to raise the speed just a little because we want to get those potatoes really mixed up. Okay, now you know what time it is. It's time to see if we have enough seasoning in this. And we may not. Ooh, splattered it on me right there. Okay. I feel like I keep walking right into you.
That's
baby.
all right.
Sorry.
We haven't quite got our patterns here in this kitchen yet, do we?
No, but we're working on it. You want to test it first?
That's all right. I trust you.
You want to try it?
Sure.
Needs more salt. Okay. I'm just going to put a little bit in my hand. I would never put it straight in to the potatoes because you could have an accident and put way too much in and then you can't take it out. So that was probably another quarter to half of a teaspoon. And that may still not be enough. Let me grab another spoon. I'm just going to get a few, because I may have to taste this a few times. Almost there. Almost. Okay. I think that will do it. Now, when you feel like they are creamy enough the way you want them, we're just going to take them and put them in your casserole dish. Now, at home, I would have used like an oblong, an oval shaped casserole dish. I didn't bring that with me. So I'm just going to use a 9x13 baking dish, and that works perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that. Use whatever you have. Okay. I think that looks pretty good. We're going to take our beater paddle off. Actually, I'm going to lift this off and set it right here so that I have room to scrape this because we want to get all this off here. And I hope I have room in my 9x13 to hold all this. I think there will be. I think we've got
a lot of potatoes.
It's a lot of potatoes. It'll feed a lot of people, and it's delicious. That's why I said at the beginning, if you want to cut this down, if it's just you, or maybe there's just a couple, or a family of 4, and you feel like you don't need this much. By the way, it's good leftover. You can certainly cut it down. Okay, I'll put that right there, and I'm going to move my 9x13 right over here. And I will use my big spatula to get all this out. Okay. I hope there's room for all this. Now I've already preheated our oven to 350 degrees. By the way, I didn't mean to tell you, and I think I kind of hinted at it. If you do get to this point, you feel like they're not creamy enough, put a little milk in them, or a little cream. A little heavy cream in them. That would be good. But these look pretty good right here. I don't think we need anything else in them. I think it's fine. So, I'll just keep splattering it, don't I?
It's all right.
It's just going everywhere. Okay. You don't have to make it real smooth, but, you know, just kind of smooth it out. You don't want big humps in it. Now, we're going to top this with our cracker crumbs. Can you hand me that butter?
Absolutely.
I feel like I'm just constantly reaching around you and over you. I'm going to melt this butter in the microwave. I'll put that on about 12. And while that's happening, we're going to crunch up these crackers. So I'm going to put 2 sleeves in here. I hear it sizzling, so hopefully it's ready. I'm just going to use my hands to crunch these up. If you want to use a food processor, you can do that. I don't see a reason to dirty a food processor for this. I got too much air in there. I'll leave that off. Unzip. And, you know, they don't have to be complete crumbs. You can have some chunks in there, because that looks good on top of it. Okay, nope, that's not completely melted. So let's go again. We're just going to pour that butter right in here on top of those cracker crumbs. There we go, it's close. Get that stirred up just a little bit so that last little bit of butter will melt. Okay. We're just going to pour that right in on top of those cracker crumbs and get that mixed in. Make those crackers really good and buttery. Come on, get that air out of there. There we go. Okay. Now we're just going to mix that around. Make sure that butter gets on all those cracker crumbs. Stir it up good. Get them all coated well. It came open. And then we're just going to put these right on top of our mashed potatoes. You can see.
It's going to give it that casserole look.
It is. And I like that it gives it a little bit of a crunch. It's not just smooth and creamy. Kind of gives it a crunch too. Okay. A little bit more right here in the corner. Okay. I think that will do it. And now we are going into our preheated 350 degree oven for 30 minutes. When that 30 minutes is up, we'll come back and do a taste test with you. In we go. Our mashed potato casserole has been in the oven for 30 minutes. And now we're ready to taste it. All right, so I'm just going to scoop some out here. Looks so good. Now, I absolutely love mashed potatoes. I'm going to tell you, my favorite part of this is that crunchy cracker topping. I love that. All right, babe, are you ready for the first bite?
I am. I'm ready for dinner.
I know you are, and I am too. I'm hungry. All right, there you go. I don't know if you can take all that. There you go.
It's so good. I love that you can make this ahead too, like for a holiday or a, company coming. You don't have to be trying to do it all at once. That's the problem with mashed potatoes.
That's true. You can do this as much as 2 days ahead. I think we talked about that earlier. The thing that I didn't mention was that you want to take it out of the refrigerator and let that come back to room temperature before you bake it. So just take it out. It's fine to take it out 1-2 hours before you're going to bake it. Let it sit out. It's not going to hurt anything.
That's really good.
And if you want, you could even wait and put the cracker topping on top of it just before you bake it. That way they don't get a little soggy. I would really recommend that you wait and put the cracker topping on right before you bake it. Do you taste the sour cream in it?
I do like it, and I love sour cream.
It's not real strong.
No, it's definitely not, but I really
Which
do.
I like.
I can pick it up.
Melissa loves sour cream. She'll put a huge amount on top of a quesadilla or something. I put a little bit. I like sour cream in things, but not on them. It's really good in this. I can just taste it. It's not overpowering, but it's just strong enough. Now, let me also tell you that if you wanted, you could put other things on top of this. You could put any kind of herbs you want. You could put chives on it or whatever. You decide what you want to put on there, or do it just plain like we did today. You can dress it up or leave it plain, your choice. All right, this is so delicious. I hope you'll give it a try. It's really good with all that sour cream and butter and cream cheese. That cream cheese just makes it so smooth and creamy.
And I think we should do this again for Easter.
This
because we could make it ahead of time. And
right.
Have it ready for Easter
I don't
dinner.
know if we may have done this for Easter before, but it would be great with ham, and we usually have ham for Easter. So I think we have done this for Easter before. All right. Thank you so much for watching. We do appreciate that you come and watch our videos, come sit at our table and watch our videos and hang out with us. We want you to, if you haven't before, to go right below this video and click that subscribe button. There's a little notification bell beside of it and the word all. That just joins you to our channel. We say it gives you a seat at our table. We would love for you to click that subscribe button. We also would appreciate if you'd go right below this video and click the like button. The more people who click it, the more times YouTube will share our video. And we want to remind you that right below this video, there's a description box. If you'll click where you see mashed potato casserole, that box will expand. Melissa always puts the written recipe right there for you. Our contact information is under that if you want to mail something to us. And under that is a link to our Amazon store where you can purchase our cookbook. And then, of course, there's a place down there where you can leave us a comment. And we love hearing from you, so feel free to leave us a comment. We do appreciate you being here, and we want you to remember that you are always welcome to come sit at my table. Have a great day.